From the forthcoming release from Veronica Freeman, July 3rd, which is a week from Tuesday. That one's called Spellbound, and I think you'll dig the new CD. It's very diverse, a lot of different, I don't know what you want to call it, styles.
Yeah, it is. She's definitely not just doing straight up power metal, that's for sure.
No, not at all. So it's a good disc. It's a rockin' disc. It kind of has kind of the slower tunes on it. It's got some of the harder core songs on it. It's got kind of a poppy songs on it.
Sure.
It's good stuff. So it's called Now or Never. It'll be out on Frontiers Records July 3rd.
Can't wait.
Go pick it up.
Yep, I will.
All right. Well, before we get into some really heavy topics.
Okay. Like that lady that got raped by the pig?
Yeah. That one especially.
What the hell?
Yeah. Rich DeLeese, one of our hardcore fans.
Yes.
He sent over a article for me.
Okay.
Or us, rather.
It's you. Then he's not a Christophile.
Well, he could be.
He's a Neelyphobe.
He could be.
You think he's a Neelyphobe?
He could be. He does send me some stuff, and sometimes it's good, interesting stuff. But this is something that he really keyed in on because we do cover it extensively here on the show, and it is a pet peeve of mine.
Okay.
He wrote me an email. He says, "I agree with all your views on Facebook. I wish it would die and go away."
You know who is really hating Facebook right now?
Who's that?
Our good friend Nader.
Really?
Yeah, they made him change his name. He's no longer Nader the Priest on Facebook.
Why?
Because the cunts at Facebook made him use his real name.
Oh, I gotcha.
So he can't. And I texted him today. I was like, they really made you changed your name? You fucking used that name for 30 years. That's been your professional name.
Well, how do they know it's not his real name?
I think that people flag it or whatever, and then they check. They check names they don't think are real now, and they make, like, the Metal Madman had to change his name. And what they do is they say, you've got X number of days to provide a driver's license or we're going to shut down your account.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, see, I'm glad I don't do Facebook.
Yeah, well, I use my real name, so.
Not that I would have anything to hide anyway, but I don't want to be involved with anything like that.
Yeah, I would never send him my driver's license.
Right.
I would just tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. I've got zero use for a Facebook. Zero.
Oh, come on.
Zero.
Come on. It entertained me all day yesterday.
Well, I'm sure it did, but you use it for more or less a communication device.
Yeah, I use it solely to fuck with people.
Sure. So Rich says, I agree with all your views on Facebook. I wish it would die and go away.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Twitter just as much, but I know you like it. Well, I don't necessarily like Twitter. I like how easy it is, and it's a good promotional tool because you don't see me put anything personal on there. Nothing.
Yeah, and they don't limit what the reach of what you put out there.
No.
Which is good.
Yeah, so I promote the show. I promote products, things to do with, the show, and that's it, period.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent over this article, which I thought was pretty dead on. I thought it made a lot of great points, and this is something that you could definitely comment on because you know me, I'm not a big social media guy, and
sure.
You, on the other hand, you enjoy using it quite a bit.
Sure.
This gal, she wrote this article called "How Social Media is Destroying Our Society."
Okay.
I was an early adapter of social media. My Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn accounts all kicked off around 2006, 2007. And once again, I find myself an early adapter as I joined the ranks of millions of people around the world who are shutting down their social media profiles.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
Why is that?
Why are people shutting it down?
Yeah, why is there a backlash now to where people were so hot on it, but now it's going the opposite direction now?
Because people are getting fucked over at their jobs.
Is that the main reason?
Well, I think people are sick and tired of fucking. It does get boring.
Okay.
You know, it gets boring. It's the same old bullshit from the same old people every fucking day, and that gets old.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't use it. Yesterday, not included. I really don't use it nearly what I used to use. And I know you follow my Facebook on occasion.
Sure.
You know, you have to admit, I have been a lot less active than I have been in years.
Well, when you're in the car 3 days a week, it's tough to Facebook.
Well, that's it. Oh, I still do while I'm driving, but come on. I can't stop for that. I can't let something like the law stop me.
Sure.
But no, but truthfully, I'm just so busy. I don't have time for it. And, you know, it's going to die.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to die because people are getting tired of it. And people, especially businesses, are getting tired of it too because it's useless. I mean, our Facebook account, you know, our CMS page.
Yeah.
We have 50x100 people that are liked or friends or whatever they call that.
Sure.
And if we send a post, well, I could tell you right now. Let me go to our page because they give me the stats for the whole week. We had our posts. Every post that we put out this week reached 5,300 screens.
Okay.
And we had 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 posts.
Okay.
4, 5. 5. We had 5 since last show. 5 posts on the Facebook. So almost one a day. We have, how do I say how many friends I have? We have 5,547 likes.
Okay.
And our total reach was 5,300 screens.
All right.
So for 5 posts, 5 times 55, that's like 28,000.
Okay.
So 28,000 people have said they care what we want to say.
All right.
But they only send it to 5,000.
Sure.
But we can pay for each one, and then we can get it to everybody that actually fucking likes us.
Okay.
So what's the fucking point?
Well, I agree.
You know, Twitter, we have X number of friends, and they all can see whatever we post. You know, I mean, that makes sense. It's getting to be useless, and nobody wants to make fucking Facebook. It's a good tool to use. It's not a really great tool for marketing because you don't reach anybody.
Right.
You know, so that's one of the reasons it's dying. And I think on a personal level, people are tired of fucking people. I think Facebook has really fucking proven what a bunch of fucking dicks everybody is. And everybody's tired of it. You know, I mean, and I'm the biggest dick on Facebook. I'll be the first one to admit it because I'll fight about everything.
Sure.
Just to do it.
Right.
You know, just to, the sun is hot? Fuck you. The sun is fucking freezing. And I'll argue that point to death.
Right.
Until everybody's fucking mad at me. Yesterday, I didn't care what the viewpoint was yesterday. I just attacked. And I threw out enough factual stuff to piss everybody off. Just because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to do it. But I get that, you know, I was getting private messages from people last night. I said, dude, what the fuck are you attacking me for? It's like, fuck you. It's Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, but I think there's a lot of guys out there like me that just fuck around with it. And people are sick of being fucked with. You know, and I also think Facebook makes a lot of people feel stupid. I do. I think that Facebook makes a lot of people realize that they're not very smart.
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with you there.
You know, because people will just throw out, and guys like me will fucking crush them. You know, like yesterday, you know, one of the big things, you know, and I'm not going to get into the whole gay marriage thing yet, but, you know, basically my basic 2-second stance is I could give a fuck. You know, I really don't care. You know, I'll get into what I do care about later, but I don't care about gay marriage or whatever. But I saw all these fucking Bible thumping fuck faces throwing up Bible, saying, well, the Bible says, bop, 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 bop. And I kept fucking pounding on these people yesterday, all day long. I kept saying, read John 12:48, dickhead. That's not what the Bible says. But then once I did that to people, then they were all fucking offended.
Of course.
Because they're made to look stupid.
Right.
And I think that's another reason that Facebook is closing, is because people, they try to use their fucking, their big intelligence, and they get schooled by a lot of people that are a lot smarter than they are.
Well, what did I say about 2 weeks ago about that old saying that goes, being ignorant is one thing, but when you open your mouth, you remove all doubt?
Yeah, exactly.
Or hit the keyboard, or you remove all doubt.
You do. And people hate being pointed out that they're stupid.
Yeah, of course. Who wants to be pointed out as being ignorant?
Yeah. And nothing makes me happier than when I see something I can pounce on.
Sure.
Because, and it makes, I know, a lot of my friends, let's just be honest, they're not exactly Bible studied. They're just not. And for me, the biggest fuck you man in the world, to come out to them and say, hey, you're wrong. The fucking Bible says, blah, 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 blah. Wow, does that piss people off?
Sure. Well, you can't argue with fact.
You can't. And I'm not trying to say biblical plus or minus. I'm just saying, if you're going to state it right. And I say that with everything.
Well, I agree. And that's what, that's always my argument. That's why I don't get into any heated discussions with anybody. I just let the facts do the speaking.
Yeah. Exactly.
You present the facts, you let the facts do the speaking. You don't need to get heated or emotional or upset over anything. In any confrontation I've been in, I don't get heated and emotional about it. I just present the facts as they are, and if you can refute the facts, then I guess you win. But if you can't, then I win.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm not gonna raise my blood pressure over an argument.
No. But, it's everything. It's Facebook's very political.
It is.
You get into, that's why yesterday, I posted repeatedly yesterday that was the greatest day in the history of Facebook.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because it had all the elements to fucking make it perfect. It had the South, it had religion, it had gay,
it had moral, it had social, it had
politics.
Yep, it had all of it.
All of it. And it was so easy to just fucking whip everybody into a frenzy yesterday that I couldn't stop doing it. My son came in at one point. He's like, are you going to do any fucking work today? And I was like, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, this is my job today, to be the instigator.
My job... You know what? I don't take hardly ever off. I never take off from working. So yesterday I took a day off, and I used that day off to just fuck with people
and amuse yourself.
Amused myself. Great. It was better than watching any kind of sitcom, any kind of movie, any kind of anything that I could have sat and watched on TV.
Right.
Just stirring the pot all day. I had a great time.
There you go. Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Well, it also says in the Bible you're not supposed to eat shellfish, and you don't seem raising a big stink about that.
Yeah.
For wearing a beard.
Yeah.
For working on the Sabbath. In the Bible, you get put to death for working on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
But as long as it's the Black Sabbath, it's perfectly fine.
Hey, racist.
Oh,
Can't say
definitely.
Black Sabbath anymore.
Definitely.
So saith Ozzy.
What was that coming? Yeah. And no, I'm not. What did you say earlier? I'm not gay. I'm not.
You smoked a dick.
No, I don't.
You never have?
No.
You've never put your hand on another man's cock?
No.
What if he's in a costume?
No.
What if it was a woman with a costume that had a dick? Would you rub the costume dick?
No.
If you were wearing a German Shepherd furry costume and another German Shepherd started humping your leg, would you let him finish?
No.
If a guy was wearing a female German Shepherd costume, would you fuck it?
No.
Are you sure? You had to think about that.
Absolutely. If I knew.
Stop laughing, Dealey. God damn it, you broke me.
Oh. This is why I love this show so much.
You can admit it. We're your heroes. We're your surrogate dads.
Yeah.
Do you have a dad, Moogle?
Yes.
How much does he drink an hour?
Probably. I don't know. I don't see him that often. I don't see him.
Absentee?
Yes.
Not white?
No, he's white.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
Are you sure he's not like Obama white?
Oh, no. He's white as white.
Is he shacked up with a new bitch?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
How many years did he pay child support on you?
Never, pretty much.
No. Did he stick around until you graduated? Or are you still in school?
No, he left when I was still a kid.
How old are you, Moogle?
28.
28, yeah. So have you graduated high school?
No.
You haven't graduated high school?
No.
Did you drop out?
Mm-hmm.
You did? What grade?
Yeah.
What grade?
I forget.
You forget?
Yeah.
What was the last year you went to high school?
Probably like senior.
Probably like senior.
Yeah.
Huh.
Were you doing a lot of drugs at this time?
No.
No. Then how do you not remember?
Been so many. I don't think about it.
It ain't been that many years. You're only 28. Not even old enough to have a 10-year reunion.
Did you have a job?
Not at the moment.
Have you ever had a job?
Like volunteer work mostly.
Really?
So you don't know what it's like to really get a paycheck then?
So,
right.
Do you have a driver's license?
What's either?
No, I can't drive.
Are you blind?
No, I'm kind of probably dyslexic, so I can't have a hard time with directions.
So if I tell you to turn, if I need you to turn right, I should just tell you to turn left.
Probably.
So if I tell you that the speed limit on the street is 27 miles an hour, you're going to fucking punch it? Push it to the floor?
Probably not, no.
You sure?
Probably.
So
I have...
when's the last time you tried to get a job?
A few years ago.
And what happened? Why didn't that work out?
I can't even remember. It's been so long. I think it was that the hours were off.
The hours were off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like really early in the morning or something like that.
Yeah, like 8 o'clock or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So what do you do for money, Moogle?
Nothing really at the moment.
You don't do anything for money? You don't need cash to live?
Not really.
No?
Yeah.
What's your mom do for a living to raise you?
7-Eleven?
No.
Well, what does she do?
Let me think.
You don't have to tell us
Like
where. Just what does she do?
Education.
Oh, she's a teacher of some kind.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Did she drive that little short bus that you used to ride?
No.
I was just asking.
Well, I probably should get going now. I've taken up too much time.
No, you're right on course. Stay as long as you want. What else you want to talk about?
He's gone.
Your dad split. Your mom fucking has a job that no one wants to talk about. You haven't had a job in 15 years since you've been out of school.
She dates Carl, the janitor from the Breakfast Club.
What the hell?
Carl? How does one become a janitor? You want to become a janitor? No. Andrew here has an interest in studying the custodial arts.
God damn. Jesus Christ, man.
Moogle, I swear to God.
Love him. Let me guess, everybody in the chat room hate him too?
I don't know.
Love Moogle.
I gotta go take a shit now.
I love Moogle. I wish I could even fathom a day where I did not need money.
I know.
I can't even fathom.
Or remember the last time you went and looked for a job.
Yeah. Well, I don't really remember. And I said, were the hours? And he said the hours were wrong.
They were off.
They're off. And I said, well, is it like 8 o'clock in the morning? He's like, yeah.
The hours were off.
And that's pretty tough.
It interfered with my sleep.
Yeah, exactly. The hell?
Wow.
That was good.
That was real good. I love understanding and learning about other people's existence.
Our fans, what a crew.
They are. All right. Well, getting back to this article here.
Yeah.
About Facebook. In fact, the recent Princeton University study estimates that Facebook will lose 80% of its users by 2017.
I don't doubt that at all.
Likening Facebook and other social media platforms to an infectious disease that the social immune system is finally fighting back against.
Right.
So people, are, as you said, are tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So people are exiting Facebook in droves.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I think a big part of it, too, people text more than ever.
That is true as well.
So now, you know, I'm not a real good example of it, but most people I know do try to keep their Facebook limited to their friends.
Okay.
But they don't.
Yeah.
It's you always get hit up. I mean, I get hit up all the time, but that's because I do 15 fucking things. But, you know, I mean, I get hit up by other people's friends of friends. Not like you know, me and Stephanie talk all the time on Facebook, and we fuck with each other on Facebook. And I'll get hit up not by like Steph or not by Steph's friends, but somebody that saw something that I wrote in a post that one of Stephanie's friends commented on, and then their friend, and it'll be somebody I've never even met, will friend me.
Yeah, it's really peripheral stuff.
Yeah, dude, I swear I go through my news feed now, and I know it'd be as easy as just going through it unfriending people, but you know, I go through my news feed now, and I don't know half the fucking people.
Sure. Why would you? I mean, you don't know 5,000 people.
No, of course not. Well, even my personal page, let me see. How many friends do I have on my personal page? On my personal page, I have 1,059 friends. I can guarantee you, I do not know
a quarter of them.
A tenth of them.
Yeah.
There's no way do I know 159 of these people.
Sure.
I mean, and maybe I do. Even if I do know 159 of these people, I have not actually spoken on the phone with these people with more than 30 of them.
Sure.
Ever.
Right.
So, you know, it's fucking ridiculous.
I agree, but this goes back to everything that I've always said where you specifically are concerned is that you are somewhat of a celebrity.
Right.
So that's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But for the average person who does not have ties to the entertainment world, be it writer, performer,
right,
entertainer, having over 1,000 some friends, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy for me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Facebook is supposed to be, you know, a place to interact with your friends.
Right.
For me, I interact with whoever.
Sure.
It doesn't matter because, you know, it helps me fucking lure people to the show.
Exactly.
That's the only reason that I'll accept every friend request. I don't give a shit.
Right.
But I don't care. It's like I had this guy yesterday who I don't really know, who is a fan of the show. who got offended that me and Stephanie were telling some inside jokes.
Yeah,
and
I
what-
saw that. He was like, fuck you. How was I supposed to know what you were saying was an inside thing? I made a comment and then you shut me down and you...
Yeah, I was like, dude, it's fucking face. And literally, he was private messaging me too.
Yeah.
And I literally hit him back. I said, dude, it's fucking Facebook. None of it matters. And he was like, well, that's just fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but see, he was following you because he looks at you as being of a celebrity status.
I guess, but it's like, dude.
But again, that goes back to everything that I've ever said. Like, and I'm just going to talk about last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that everybody headed back to the backstage area after the show was over.
Right.
But I went out to the edge of the stage.
Right.
And half a dozen people or more came up to the stage.
Right.
To say hello.
Mm-hmm.
Which was great because I was just like, hey, man, it's good to see you. Everybody's hanging out here. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Took a couple pictures, you know, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I went about my business. But, you know, I don't look at myself as being some kind of a celebrity or anything.
Right.
But that's how they see me.
I guess.
And that's how people on Facebook see you.
Maybe.
Well, this is Chris Aiken. He's that guy on that show. He's the guy who wrote that book. He's that guy who writes articles. He's the one who comments on CDs. He's the guy who does this. Blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
I guess.
You know, so you and I, we just live what we consider normal, regular lives.
Right.
But people who do listen to us or follow us, they look at us as, oh, well, they're media guys. They're celebrities. They're famous. They're this.
I guess I just have trouble seeing it.
I do too. I'm the same way. And I'll give you an example. I think Steve Jackson this week, when a couple of the, you know, the things that came down through the court and socially, politically, he was just like, I can't believe it. He wrote out on Twitter or something about, you know, fuck this shit or something that, you know, they're taking the General Lee die-cast metal car off the market because of the Confederate flag.
Right.
And I sent out a Twitter or something like that. I said, commented on his Twitter. I said, well, you know, as Leonard Skinner said, you know, you wear your X, I'll wear mine.
Right.
You know, just kind of being kind of funny and whatever. I got like 3 or 4 new followers on Twitter over that. And I looked at the Twitter and they were all like guys from Tennessee and Georgia and this and that. Guys I don't know.
Sure.
But they're from the South.
Right.
You know, and it's, oh, this guy must be one of us.
Oh, there you go.
You know, he agrees with us. He flies the stars and bars, man.
Fellow bigot.
Exactly. So, you know, but again, I accepted them as followers, or you don't even accept them. They just follow you.
They just follow you.
Yeah.
Don't they?
So it's just like, okay, I gained like 3 or 4 new followers just because of my comment about Leonard Skinner in the stars and bars.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, all right. I'm not going around saying I hate black people and the Confederate flag is the sign of white power.
Right.
But for whatever reason, that comment alone caught somebody's attention.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Works.
Yep. So getting back to this article, then in my research to verify the Princeton article and understand all sides of the story before writing this article, I found the following interactive piece, which, if you have 15 minutes to spare, is an eye-opening take on how social media is devastating the world we live in and creating the social problems we face. Okay. I am an avid video avoider on the internet, but this had me transfixed, and this is well worth the time to watch. It also gave me the encapsulating theme of the thoughts I gathered and a perfect way to angle this piece. So anyway, she must have watched some kind of
some video.
All right. So anyway, the 7 deadly digital sins.
Okay.
Number 1.
I do.
Huh?
Let's see how many I do.
All right. The number 1 is greed.
Greed?
Yep. It's not about real connections any longer. Social media has made us greedy for an audience.
Well, that I don't do.
If you're on someone's friends list and you haven't sat down around a table with them or even shared a Skype call in the past 3 years, it's That's all you actually are, their audience.
Okay.
So you
I guess I am that.
Yeah. So basically you just mentioned that you have over 1,000 some people following you, but you don't know any of them.
Yeah, I don't know any of them.
So
but is that me being greedy or is that them being greedy?
Well, it's people.
I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, but you accept them as your friends, whether you know them or not.
All right. So yes, number one, I'm guilty of.
So you're collecting an audience.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's all about popularity nowadays. How many people on my friends list, how many people liked what I just posted, how many people have liked my company's page. The greatest threat somebody can make in today's digital age, I'm removing you from my friends list because you dared to push back, disagreed with me, or expect more from me than my self-importance allows me to think I should give you. So that goes back to I'm unfriending you, pal.
Yeah, pal.
There's some blocked user in your future.
Is that still part of greed or is that another part?
Well, no, this is part of greed.
Okay.
The greed is, if you say post something that's controversial or somebody argues back against you, you can unfriend them.
Yeah, you got to be a pussy to do that, though.
But people do it,
Yeah.
It's like you no longer can follow my page.
Yeah. Although I will admit, I will freely admit that on the Classic Metal Show page, I ban people all the fucking time.
There you go.
I do ban people on the CMS page, not because I give a shit. If they're just bagging on us, I don't care. But when they come on to promote their shit,
yeah,
then I ban them.
Sure.
Because no, you don't get to build your own fucking audience.
Well, go ahead, please, because unless I spend evenings and weekends alongside you, not having you in my audience on social media is actually just plain not going to affect my life. And it's really sad that you think it will. So anybody who bans you, say, yeah, you can't follow me anymore.
Yeah.
You're out of here, pal.
That's right. It doesn't matter.
Number 2 is wrath.
Okay.
Haters of the world, unite, because your hating and shaming is taking over the world.
Yeah, I'm that.
Here we are with the shaming now.
Yeah, I'm definitely that.
Just as you can be lambasted and attacked for anything you dare to publish in digital media, now you can be attacked for anything you say in a disagreement in real life, too.
Right.
I blame the button personally. Oh, I blame the like button personally.
What?
You can like or love something, quietly disagree or comment, but those are your choices, really. Agree or shut up. If you don't agree and you dare to voice it, you'll be attacked, called rude and confrontational, and even a hater yourself.
Oh, no, I get called those things all the time.
You'll be shamed, classified as difficult or impossible to work with,
right?
Or those near and dear to you will pay the price.
Okay, so I'm having trouble with this again. Who is the person that fights back the wrath person, or is the person that starts it the wrath person?
It's you bringing down the wrath on somebody else who dares to question you or go up against you.
Okay, I don't think I'm that, though. Do you think I'm that?
Yeah, because you just admitted it. You said you like to fuck with people who put something out there and you just attack them all day long. So they feel the wrath of Chris Aiken.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
So you do that. Okay. You dole out the wrath.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
Yep. Have a question about a policy at your child's school? Don't dare ask a question or voice an opinion because the teachers will take it out on your child. Disagree with something your boss says? Well, keep quiet in case you get fired.
That's true.
Social changes does not happen unless we have debate, and debate is usually hot, heated, and passionate.
Right.
However, we've lost the ability to be passionate about the facts. Now we argue the person and not the point.
Wow, is that very true?
Well, there you go. We are killing ourselves by eliminating controversy and alternate opinions and paralyzing ourselves into social inadequacy as a result.
See, partially agree with this.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because if you argue, like, for me, I argue, I'll fight anybody on Facebook, but I'll fight with facts. You know, I don't go on like straight up attacks like, hey, fuck you, you stupid motherfucker. You're just a dope.
Yeah, well, you back it up with.
I back it up with facts. But and I see this not only in social media, but I see it on TV too. You know, and you know, I'm a point to one side. It's the fucking liberals. They don't answer facts.
No, they don't.
They don't answer any facts.
Yeah, they just do character assassination.
Yeah, they come with, if you come and say, how can you vote for fucking Hillary Clinton when there's this many murders fucking tied to her? Okay, and then I list the murders. These fucking 8 murders. They won't argue that point. They won't say, well, you know, that can't be true or what.
No, they'll just go, well, you're just a hater.
You just fucking don't like her. You're just a fucking Republican.
Yeah.
You know, there's no
refuting the fact.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you're a fucking coward. And that's how I feel about it, is that they're fucking cowards. You know, but I always at least try to present factual stuff in any argument I have, even when I'm fucking with people.
Right.
I still bring some sort of a you know, defense to my argument.
At least a point to what you're trying to say, instead of, you're just a dick.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly.
You suck.
Yeah, I mean, and I get that a lot. I'll come out and I'll say, you know, Obama will pass whatever his latest fucking stupid policy is, and I'll be like, what the fuck? This is fucking ridiculous. It violates the Second Amendment and blah 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 blah, whatever it is, you know. And the responses are immediate. Your hatred is showing. You're just a racist. Nothing Obama can do will ever be right with you. No comments whatsoever about the point I made.
Exactly.
Because they're fucking cowards.
Or they don't know.
Or they're just stupid.
Yeah, they just don't know.
Yeah, I think that's... Well, see, I don't even know if they know or they don't know. I just think that they're too lazy, or they're... I not even lazy. That's not the right word. Everybody on Facebook, especially with politics, has to be on the winning team.
Right.
Nothing's about what's right or wrong anymore. It's about winning. There's no way you can fucking look at some of this shit that this stupid fucking cocksucker in the office has done and said that it's right. If you're one of these, you know, and you can point out simple shit. You can point out fucking Michelle Obama taking her mom and 400 other people to fucking Europe at a cost of $70 million for a vacation. And you can say, what the fuck? We have fucking all these people, $70 million would pay for their fucking health care for, you know, a year. But this bitch is going, you make a solid point, and they'll answer back with, you're just a fucking racist. What is that? Where is the debate? She's right. Debating is dead.
Yeah.
She's very right about that.
All right. Number 3.
Okay.
Lust.
Lust. All right, let me hear the definition.
Attitude is everything according to the many overflowing motivational posts that we are bombarded with every day. And a good attitude means that everyone likes you and lusts to be in your presence. Except it's not. The attitude they're referring to is the attitude that lies inside you. Are you at peace when you fall asleep at night, and can you fall asleep without sleeping tablets? Are you awake, energized, and refreshed when you wake up in the morning? And can you get going without artificial stimulants and antidepressants? Can you bounce back from failure and adversity and get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children? Or are you a miserable wreck that is secretly falling apart at the seams because you're too desperate to have people like you and lust after being around you, i.e. on your friends list, that you cannot live align to your truth or walk your talk. So basically, these are people who are emotionally affected by Facebook.
And that is definitely not me.
No, that's not you.
That one I'm clear of.
But there are some people who live and die by Facebook, though.
Oh, I know. I have one friend on my list right now. He's this friend. He's been a friend for a long time, and he's bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
But man, whenever he's looking for somebody to fucking pat him on the back and tell him that it's okay, he can't wait to fucking post some long fucking diatribe about how bipolar has fucked him.
Sure.
Can't wait to do it.
Right.
I'm not saying he's right or he's wrong. If that's what he needs to do to get through the day, who am I to stop him? But I don't do that.
Right. As a coach and marketing person, day after day, I deal with people who are entirely not aligned with what they truly want, who make decisions based on what people around them think, even when it's in total contradiction to what they really want. Okay. There's been a lot of research done into this, including the spiral of silence theory. This and similar experience show that 75% of people will agree with a point of view, even if they know it's wrong, for fear of being isolated from the crowd.
That's the liberal way.
There you are. Some will even go as far as electrocuting people that they know that this bears a health risk to because they have been given permission to do it by a crowd or a peer pressure or an authority figure, as in the case of as in the case of the Milgram experiment. I'm not really sure what that is.
I don't know what that is.
If you live your life for other people, you will never know peace because you weren't walking your talk. If you live your life making decisions based on what other people will think of you, then you have no right to think of yourself as special. You will never be a leader because what you are is a sheep. If you have chosen between character and reputation, I'll choose character every time because the only person in my head I go to sleep with is me. And I agree with that.
I'm right on with that one.
Number 4 is envy.
Okay.
Oh, how beautiful people's lives look from outside their curated, filtered, edited lives where you never see the messy bits and the difficult choices they have to make. That's pretty self-explanatory, but let's see here. But what's arisen from this is the expectation that somehow the beautiful and successful people are responsible for making the rest of us feel better about our own existence. Huh? How and when did this happen? If someone has done or achieved something in their life, whether it's losing weight, building a business, quitting smoking, building a successful relationship, they are not obligated to pass it on to you. You can do it the hard way too. In fact, you have to do it the hard way. Otherwise, it will never work. This is the secret that successful people know. The idea that we have to uplift and improve people who will not do that for themselves is killing us economically, financially, spiritually, and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to build the economy, you do it by giving money to rich people because they'll do what they've always done, create jobs. When you give money to the poor man, he just comes back for another handout the very next day. Teach a man to fish, I believe the Bible calls it.
All right. Well, she just lost anybody that was left-sided. Because she just basically outed herself. That's just a she, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she just outed herself as a fucking conservative.
Right.
But I don't think I don't think I do that.
Well, you do.
Do I?
Yeah,
Well,
you obviously many times mentioned, when the gaming hall does well.
Yeah.
And about how proud you are of it and how you never imagined it to either be successful or what a lot of work it is and this and that. So people live vicariously through your efforts.
But I don't think I'm the negative that she's
No. What she's saying, though, is that is that when people live vicariously through your successes,
Yeah.
they feel like they're a success too.
So I am a negative.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you are providing them with, like, it's just like, well, Chris's success is my success because I'm riding your coattails as one of your followers.
I see.
You see?
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm 3 for 4.
Right.
All right.
Number 5 is pride.
All right.
The internet, and especially social media, runs on content, and so content creators proliferate and abound. This means everyone has a voice. All right, we talked about this a couple weeks ago about now everyone has a voice.
Right.
You don't have to produce great writings anymore. You don't have to you don't have to achieve anything in life, and you don't have to make it past journalists and editors anymore. If you can write something, you can publish it. This has vastly exaggerated people's own sense of self-importance. Nowadays, people believe that their opinions always matter, that people don't have the right to disagree, and when they do, they're haters.
I see that all the time.
Of course you do. But get out into the real world, and your boss is going to come back at you for not having communication skills or being a team player or doing your job properly. Right. So what can you do? So what can you do except complain bitterly about it and retreat further and further into your cocoon of one, surrounded by your community of internet friends, all likewise rotting away on their couches under a pile of junk food wrappers and ice cream tubs? One day, though, you're going to snap and go on a shooting rampage and a killing spree because the messaging that's been reinforced is not what you're experiencing in the world out there. A prime example, Elliot Rogers. Read more on 2014 Isla Vista killings. So whatever. People go, well, you know what? My Facebook friends agree with me. How come you don't? You should die.
Yeah, well, I have wished death on people on Facebook.
Well, there you go.
I don't think I qualify on this one.
Okay. Well, but you know, people who commiserate on Facebook, and people who don't know you, and you put your little diatribe on there and talk about how unfair the world is to you, and yeah, you go, girl.
Right.
Yeah, he was a dick to you, man. Yeah, you shouldn't put up with that. And then, you know, they go out in the real world where that doesn't fly, and it's just like, you know what? I fucking hate you.
Right. Right.
Because my Facebook friend said I was in the right, and you're not playing along, so you should die.
Yeah, it's like that chick at the zoo.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, number 6 is sloth.
Okay.
Likewise, this idea of motivation and that everyone's opinion matters and that everyone is special has made us slothful. In short, we are breeding a society of lazy, entitled people. You don't have to work hard to be heard anymore. You don't have to develop yourself or grow as a person. Overcoming trials and tribulation, there's nothing left to aspire to. Fat and unhappy? Don't change your body. Go find a tribe who will tell you that fat is sexy and beautiful and that many people find fat bodies sexy. What do they care when you're still single and lonely and miserable and unhappy under your pile of empty ice cream tubs and antidepressant containers 5 years later? They'll still be there and love your posts ranting about how unfair the world is because their lives are equally as miserable as yours.
There you go.
So it's just like, okay, I won't find productive, motivated people. I'll find people who agree with me.
Right.
And so then they get this skewed, you know, world vision that, oh, well, you guys are the wrong ones because our tribe over here agrees with us.
Right. So
They don't live in reality is what it boils down to.
Right. So I do not qualify on this one because I am productive.
Right.
All right.
Number 7 is gluttony.
Okay.
I want everything and I want it now. And I don't want to have to lift a finger to work for it. Or simply put, instant gratification.
Oh, yeah, that is our society.
People must love my picture and call me beautiful in droves. I don't have to meet society's standards for beautiful and sexy. The world must adjust its view to meet what I look like. So there we go, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, no kidding.
You'll accept me because if you don't, you're a hater.
Mm-hmm.
Or on my personal favorite, they must love me for who I am on the inside.
Yeah.
Well, here's a wake-up call, people. People are on the outside what they are on the inside. The most beautiful people I've known are beautiful inside and out. The ugliest people on the inside can usually be spotted a mile away by their continence and appearance.
Wow.
I've opened a business. Where are my clients? Why aren't they rushing to my company in droves just like we've opened the doors? And why do I have to do the legwork and show value just to get them to come? Unhappy in your relationship? Don't put time and effort in and grow your communication skill. Hit up the ex of your, hit up on the ex of yours who's broken up with her boyfriend because he has also, I'm going to read this again because this just is a difficult sentence.
All right.
Unhappy in your relationship? Don't put time and effort in and grow your communication skill. Hit up on that ex of yours who's just broken up with her boyfriend because he was also a useless louse, of course. Or better yet, declare yourself polyamorous so that you have person B to run to when the going gets tough in your primary relationship. I know that one to be fact.
Oh, yeah.
I've experienced that one
recently
firsthand.
Right.
We're digging our own graves, and I, like many millions of people around the world, won't stand by quietly and watch it happen anymore. People are standing up and speaking out and demanding more and more and more from life, more from their relationships, and more truth in their world. And yes, for the haters who are going to research this and come back and say I'm still on Facebook, I did keep a social media profile because it's linked to most of the amazing virtual and international mastermind group I could ever hope to be a part of. And I love taking on the haters publicly in cyberspace. So let's debate.
There you go.
So there you go. Social media ruining the world. It's giving us a false view of personal one-on-one communication skills.
I'm with that. I definitely see it. I see it. You know what? It's weird because, with the museum, I see a lot of people come through. And, we, not only me, but, the staff the staff that I trained, we trained specifically to interact, to greet them, to how are you? How's your day going? This is what we do. It's discussion. It's communication. And then we give them a verbal tour, before we cut them loose to go play the games.
Right.
So it is very, I do get to see a lot of people communicating, and I swear to God, the kids are useless.
Yeah.
The kids are fucking useless when it comes to communicating. They head down because they can't look you in the eye, or they're dicking around on their phone because they can't put their phone down, but none of them are just like we used to be, and I hate to sound like the old man in the room, but you remember when you would go to an assembly or something and you weren't paying attention, somebody fucking crack you in the head.
Yeah. It's like, pay attention, sit up in that chair.
He's speaking to you. Listen.
Exactly.
And now, it's just, the kids are not paying attention. Their heads are down. They're, they want nothing to do with, the actual 2 seconds of learning that they have to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just is the way it is. And it's this whole generation. It really is. It's fucked up.
It is. So anyway, this author, writer, she more or less pinpoints it to the rise of social media.
I don't know that I agree totally with that, but I agree that social media has definitely changed the way people communicate.
Absolutely.
But I think equally to blame is fucking texting.
Well, but that is social media.
Is that considered a social media?
Of course it is, because you're not face to face.
But the difference with texting is you're generally one-on-one.
Yeah, but it's still a media.
Mm-hmm.
It's a digital media.
It's crazy though. You know, I have some friends that are going through some shit. They're married and they're going through some shit. And I bring that point up to them all the time that, you know, the biggest thing I see is that they don't fucking talk to each other.
Right.
They text.
Of course.
And it's like, if you're having fucking problems, you can't solve them through text.
Well, because it's impersonal that way and you don't get into confrontation.
But if you're in a marriage, you don't need it to be impersonal.
I agree.
You need it to be personal.
I agree with you, but the thing is that's the easy way out. Well, I don't have to have a face-to-face with you, and if I'm keeping something from you or I'm not quite being fully honest or whatever the case may be, I can just sort of like gloss over this and just try to pacify that specific situation for the moment.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's just weird to me. I mean, I can't even. I'm the biggest Facebook, Twitter, social media guy there is. But when it comes down to doing anything, I want to do it. I want to do it. You know, I want to. As an example, you know, the phone number to the museum. You know, almost never do I answer it when it rings.
Okay.
Just because. You know, I'm always in the middle of something or whatever, and I don't like to cut one for the other. You know, so I'll let it go to voicemail. But I call every single number back. Every phone call that comes, I call back. 15, 20 calls a day that I'm just calling back, you know. And I mean, sometimes it's like a second later. And the people will let it go to voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
From a number that they just called.
Right.
And it's because they don't really want to talk. They're hoping that the message gives them the price or the hours or whatever it is, because they don't actually want to have any communication at all.
Right.
And it's just astounding to me that it's this far, man, that people just do not want to communicate. Like it's scary or something.
Well, it is. And you know, in my line of work,
yeah,
when I call people and I leave a voicemail,
mm-hmm.
somebody will call back within a minute or 2 minutes later.
Sure.
Somebody called me from this number.
Yeah.
It's like, well, did you listen to your voicemail? You know, why do you even bother having a voicemail if you're not even going to listen to it?
Right.
But that's somebody called me from this number.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's like, well, there is a voicemail.
Yeah. Well, they don't listen to that.
Yeah.
They just see the caller ID and they just push the button.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre.
It is.
So it's a bizarre existence we live in these days, but that's our existence.
Yeah, it is Rome burning, isn't it?
It is.
It's really out of control right now.
I know. And I don't know what we're going to do about it.
We're not. We're going to end.
And that's kind of how I see it too.
That's how it's going to be. It's not going to be fixed. There's not going to be some savior. There's not going to be some fucking, you know, big radical change that's going to make everything better. It's going to end.
Yeah.
You know, the fucking TPP yesterday, that fucking changed everything, and nobody's even fucking talking about it.
No, well, because the other social relevant things, the Obamacare and the gay marriage and all that other stuff is, yeah, the flag it's all kind of, you know, buried that.
Yeah, that buries that. Meanwhile, what that is that we're fucking basically all now we're fucking locked on to the whims of 11 other countries.
Right.
And 11 other countries can dictate what happens in our economy.
Well, that's the way our great leader wants it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it is. He wants to have fucking one world government.
Yeah, he doesn't want American exceptionalism.
No, and that's a big step toward it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't
But
want
nobody
that.
even sees it. Everybody's like, "Oh, I didn't hear about that."
Yeah, of course not. Why
They hear
would you?
about it till they're getting fucked. That's really what it is. They're not going to hear about. I mean, and I'm not going to get on to TPP at all tonight, but basically, it's a trade agreement that says that if a country feels like we're fucking them on some trade thing, like let's say that they're shipping cars to us or something, and they feel like we're fucking them on the money for the, like, we're not paying them enough or what proper value is or whatnot, they can sue this country.
Right.
Because they don't feel that it's right. And if they win, then this country has to pay them.
Sure.
And this country paying them means the taxpayer paying them.
Right.
So why would we ever sign that agreement? Where is the benefit to this? There's no benefit. That it opens up what? Free trade? Shut up. There's no freeness to it. Fucking idiots.
I know.
But that's what this fucker, and notice that wasn't brought up too. Mr. fucking signature Bill, you know, he could have easily, while he was at the podium, saying, "This is a signature day for America."
Right.
It's the day that we let the gay people get married. It's also the day that we fucking signed a groundbreaking trade agreement.
Right.
Well, why didn't he say that? Because he's trying to hide it.
Of course.
Because it's a fucking scumbag shitbag move.
Right.
Fucking cocksucker. Hate this fucking guy. God, I wish he'd have an aneurysm. Just fucking drop dead at the podium. I would love that. I would applaud. I would DVR it. I guess I probably wouldn't have to, now would I?
No, it would be all over the place.
It'd be everywhere. We'd add Benny Hill music behind that.
Sure. Exactly. Wow.
Yeah,
well, I want to take a short break, and then we'll get into the real meat of the shit.
All right.
I think that the only appropriate tune to play,
Yeah.
Victim of Changes.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, here's some Judas Priest exclusively here
On your classic metal show.